So most of the people for sure knows me because of Gaia, I guess. Really? Who knows me from before that? Okay. Great. So the people that knows me only from Gaia, I should say I did a bunch of weird stuff before. um, and which is not to stare on a camera. And and, um, and so I don't know if you know the idea. So first of all, I would like to know if there is someone that has no clue or anything that I am, why I'm here, besides explaining dimensions and all these things. There's anyone that doesn't know anything of what I do or what I have done before? Good. Okay. You what? Okay. Thank you. So, um, so just would say I'm from Argentina, the south, um, and basically, well, I was born in the 1987 in August, and in that moment was supposed to be an alignment for the download of new people. For sure, some of you have been working for that to happen. So hi. They work. Um, so thank you. Some of the people that we came from that time, from August, we that year we came to kind of do restore of some connections in the planet through memory. So remembering all the past legacy from other lives and also from for the future. So my goal was to be kind of a rememberer, but not a rememberer that remembers past lives. So most of the people thinks that I just came here because I remember my past life, but we all do somehow. So that's not new. That's something that we all do. Um, Besides remembering, there are two other parts of the word remember that is part of my mission, which is the first one is remembering, which is to remember stuff from the past and other dimensions, remember things that I did before I was born. And the second one is to remember, which means to put the numbers together. That's the origin of the word remember. So it means that all the things that were separated must be reconnected again. So concepts, ideas, places, people, so all that must be remembered, okay? Which is the connection with the network of the planet, which is not only my task. We are thousands doing this, but I end up here, so whatever. So, I end up explaining things that others do. So, that remembering. And the third one, in English doesn't have sense, but in Latin it has, which is recordis. Recordis, recordar in Spanish and all Latin languages, means to come back to the heart. That's what remember, the translation of remembering is in Latin, to go back to the heart. So the center, the core. Um, and of course, when we speak about coming back to the heart, we all think like, ah. But for the universe, it's not ah. For the universe, it's more systematic. Like you have a torus, you have a sphere. So the only point of reference of a sphere is the core. So you have to go back to the core to see the whole sphere. Basically, it's systematic, but we put spirituality and poetry into beauty, into that. So I am also like a kind of a magic killer sometimes. That's what my friend says. Because when I try to explain the things in a neutral way, so I try to put all the things that I can explain in a way that doesn't have a religious tradition or that. So we could take only the essence of the information, and then you can put whatever you want on the top. Like is having this is the map of the system, and then you can take the path you want and go wherever you want and use whatever you need to put it on the top and choose the way you want to live that. So basically, one of the things that I always love to say is that I hadn't come to this planet to say the truth. I have come to this planet to explain what I saw from the truth, which means that anything that I will say is the actual truth. It's just what I saw from my perspective traveling through here, what was the truth. So it's impossible for someone to explain the real truth. It's impossible because we are all dots in a sphere. So no one can see the whole unless you go to the core and feel everything. But for that, we have to get all remembered, all reconnected, so we can have the whole picture, basically. So that's why I started to share my point of view with my psychologist when I was 12. and she didn't get it. So I had to go to the psychiatrist. He didn't also. Um, so so the thing is that, but I was lucky that my family was not religious. So I don't have anything against religion, but I was born in a space that they didn't believe in anything. Like, likes, how do you call it? How do you say, laico? They didn't believe in anything. Agnostic. No atheist, but because they were not against God, but they said what? So yeah, so they didn't care basically. So it was good because everything that I remember for them was an artistic mind. So that's art. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, what imagination. So I had no that background, and my school was also no religion at all. It was work in the fields. So it was all earth, ground, water, and cow shit. So it was all grounded and nothing related to the spirituality. So everyone was listening to me like, oh, that's fun, that's good. I don't know. Nice story. So so I grew up in an environment that I could tell whatever I had inside, and there was no judgment because it was all creative for them. Until, of course, I started to have these missions in my mind and all the things that I was supposed to do around the planet, remembering all these things. So basically, that got me a few problems until I started to meet the people that said, oh, what you are telling to me, I have been trying to understand it in all these books. So you are making a summary of that for me to understand. And that was my third psychologist who said that, like, oh, you're just doing a summary of all these books. So have you read all this? I have no clue. I just read 3 books in my life, and it was because the school obligated me. So they explained it all. They said, she said, so this is what I was trying to understand. So that took me to a path that people wanted to listen what I remembered, because it was clarifying what they already knew. It was not something new. It's something that, oh, I remember that, but I had no clue how to put it on a line or on a frame so I could understand it. So what I was doing was not telling new things, it was telling old things, but organized in a different way. So that took me to be here, basically, to explain all these things. And also because I was born Leo, so that's why I don't care to be here talking to people. Of course, I'm Italian Argentinian. So we are known by talking many nonsense things for hours.